Welcome back to CMG Sports weekly recap and preview at our power rankings, week 6 of the Missouri high school football season. Last Friday, Joshua, where'd we go?
We went to North Kansas City.
North Kansas City. We got to see number 8 North Kansas City play and host number 1 in Class 4 Kearny, and boy, not what I was expecting.
What I was expecting, I expected a 30-point win out of Kearny.
Well, Kearny had something like that going. It was 24-7 late into the fourth quarter, and really we got to see the talent for North Kansas City on full display in the fourth quarter. Never gave up, made insane plays. You've probably seen a few of them. We got this crazy touchdown right here to essentially bring the game within 3 points, and really it was that Kearny offense at the very end that was able to ice it and put the game away. One of the more under-talked about storylines was North Kansas City starting kicker, who's one of the best in the state, gets hurt the night before, the couple nights prior in a soccer game. And obviously, Kearny, the 3-point difference was Kearny's 42-yard field goal to open the game up. The D1 talent was everywhere, too. I mean, that was probably one of the most highly recruited games we've gone to, excluding the state championship last year. I mean, we saw, obviously, North Dakota's coaching staff was there for the Twins. We talked to the North Kansas City AD. He said virtually, I mean, you name the Power 4 school, they've had recruiters there in the last few weeks. So D1 talent all over the place. And really, I think that was the difference because North Kansas City had no answer for the Beaver Twins at all.
The athletic director for North Kansas City was talking about how one of their offensive tackles were even being recruited. It doesn't matter against those boys. They were getting to the quarterback every single play. If not, they were getting held. Lots of holding calls not being called. That didn't ruin the game. It could have, but I don't think refs ruined the game. I think the Twins got it done, and they showed up whenever they needed to on the last drive and sealed the deal.
Yeah, and even on one of the posts we made, it was called an unnecessary roughness call. The tackle was kind of made in bounds. It got carried out of bounds. Not sure what the decision was there, but it clearly did not look like the unnecessary roughness. But even on that play, if you look at the video, Isaac's coming off the edge, and his whole shirt is getting ripped off. So, I mean, backside play going the other way, official's not going to call that as a holding. It's not really affecting the play. But that just goes to show essentially what was happening all game long. And, boy, did they ice it at the end. I mean, North Kansas City couldn't run the ball. North Kansas City had no time to pass. Both those guys coming off the edge, I mean, insane athleticism.
And talk about athleticism, let's talk about that Kearny quarterback. I was talking to a couple kids in the student section, and I wasn't aware of this. But Kearny's quarterback, every single run play, he was lowering his shoulder. He wasn't willing to go down. And I was like, you got a dog for a quarterback? They said, yeah, we got a dog because he's a national wrestler. He's going to go win nationals this year for wrestling. So you're telling me you have a wrestler of wrestling mentality as a quarterback, going to Fargo, competing at Fargo, almost winning Fargo from what they said. Maybe he won it as your quarterback, and he can sling the rock too. So
yeah, that's a good preview into the winter sports because Kearny and North Kansas City both have amazing wrestling programs that we cannot wait to go and look at. Just from talking to everyone there, like I said, it was North Kansas City. For those of you who don't know, I mean, we pulled out of the stadium, and I mean, the Kansas City skyline's right there. I mean, it was an amazing atmosphere. The home student section was amazing. Kearny showed up. Granted, it's only about a 25-minute drive. Kearny showed up in full force, and man, that is what high school football is all about. Two state-ranked teams going at it. And you know what? North Kansas City was rewarded this week. They actually went down to 9. So North Kansas City still is top 10 in Class 6, even after losing to a Class 4 team, which speaks to, I think, alluding to our power rankings later. But that's our wrap-up of this week's recap. Let's cut to a quick break, and we'll be right back. Owning a boat is an investment, but the bigger investment is how you take care of your boat. And the number one most important part about taking care of your boat is having a great boat lift to make sure that your boat's life is maximized and it stays safe. There is no one better than Polylift Boat Lifts to take care of your massive investment today. Polylift Boat Lifts, we don't just build boat lifts, we build poly lifts. Check out their used lift selection right now and get your hands on one of the top of the line boat lifts at polylift.com. Welcome back, the most important segment of the show, Power Rankings. Once again, I'll go over the criteria. This is Power Rankings, not Team A and Team B play right now. Team A's at home, Team B beats them, whatever. No, none of that. This is Team A and Team B are the same size rosters, same size funding, programs, athletic facilities, etc. On the high school level, we all know that any Class 6 school more than likely is going to go down to Class 2 and whoop up on whoever. We get it. Or Class 1 for that matter. This idea is who are the best teams in the state based on their domination over their opponents in their class more specifically. And with that being said, there's a lot of teams that have not made our list this year, and I'll give you a quick reason why. The 4 main ones that are receiving votes currently all have something in common. Ready? So we have Rockhurst, Liberty, Webb City, and now North Kansas City. They fell out of our rankings. I would say for those first 3 teams, Webb City, Liberty, and Rockhurst, the reason why we do not have them ranked in the top 12 on power rankings, one glaring issue, they do not have a single ranked win.
0.
Liberty's opponents have a combined win percentage of under 40%.
Yep. 7 total wins.
7
through 5 weeks.
They have five opponents, and their 5 opponents combined for 7 wins. And I believe it ends up being 18 losses. So 7 and 18. Listen, in a pound for pound sense, yes, you're undefeated. It means nothing. Same with Rockhurst. And Rockhurst is rocking this year. And I'm actually pretty impressed by the numbers Rockhurst has been putting up. Once again, they're a bigger class school, and that's also going to go negatively for a lot of these Class 5 and 6 schools. You're a bigger school. We know the main ones. We know the Nixas, the Platte Counties, the CBCs that are the best in those classes. So I don't think anyone's going to make the argument that Rockhurst is better than Platte County. So you're not even competing for a top 5 spot. You're competing to essentially be the second or third most dominant in your class, which is going to hurt. Webb City out of this group, though, has a chance to change that this week. They're playing a top 5 team in their class, so this is a great opportunity to get a ranked win. In Republic, who is in our rankings, just like they were last week, has the same opportunity. So really, you're looking at those 2 teams. That is meeting the criteria. One of those 2 teams is going to secure a major ranked win moving forward, and they will skyrocket up the list. That's the criteria, guys. And North Kansas City, the reason why they fell right out of our rankings is just because I think they kind of fumbled their opportunity. After seeing them in person, there's no doubt about their ability to play football and be dominant. 0 questions about that. But that was their perfect opportunity to jump and skyrocket through the rankings, and I don't know when they'll get that opportunity again. But who's not receiving votes?
Not receiving votes, number 12, don't hate, we love this pick, is Live for Life. You have a Class 3 team, right, that is going and competing with the best of the best in Class 6. They went to SLU. They almost beat SLU. They lost to SLU by a point. Who else is going to go up 3 classes and go compete with a top 5 team in that class?
Yeah, there's not a lot to be said about that. Their record is speaking for itself, and that's the rest of their season. Literally, I mean, they're playing Elias, which is another ranked Class 6 school. I mean, Father Tolton this week. I mean, go down the list.
Yep.
Which is interesting because number 11 brings us to Blue Spring South, has dealt with a lot of adversity this year. We had them a lot higher in our list earlier this season. They've just kind of progressively knocked. I think this week and really the rest of the season is a good chance for them to regain a lot of that momentum.
Gauntlet.
It is a gauntlet, and that is a lot of these North Kansas City schools that cannibalize on each other. And Blue Spring South, I think, is probably the best of all of them. And they're going to prove that over the next 3 weeks. So really, that's kind of why you're at that 11 sweet spot. Work it out. Let's see what happens there. I'm just excited to see the rest of the Kansas City football play out.
As Jacob had mentioned, Republic is at number 10. They still yet to have a ranked win, but their wins have been more quality than, let's say, a Webb City or even Carthage or whoever it might be. You know, sitting at 4-1, they do have one of the best quarterbacks in the state. That's a dual threat quarterback and a dual sport athlete committed to Missouri State in baseball. They have studs all up and down the field. They've been doing it. They kept a pretty close game to Nixa compared to other teams. This week, like Jacob said, probably whoever wins the Webb City Republic game will probably either take the 9 or 10 spot.
For those of you who aren't thinking, the reason why Webb City is lower than Republic is probably how that Neosho game started.
100%. Yeah.
So, I mean,
Neosho's a good ball club.
Yes, they are.
They are.
And honestly, I think winning that game might have, if you win that game really decisively off the bat, which credit for staying in it, but
I would maybe see Neosho sneaking into a top 12 if they beat Webb City.
Very true. So, yeah, I mean, I think that game goes either way. Just the way it went, I don't think helped Webb City on this ranking. So I think that's kind of why we deferred it to this week. Which brings us to 9. Elias falls a spot. once again, the common theme with Elias all year, yes, they're 5-0. Yes, they've been dominant. This was the game we had circled. For 4 weeks now, we've said, go blow out Rockbridge. We'll shut up for the rest of the year. Keeping it as close as you did is not gonna be rewarded. And so you know what? As a challenge to that, we got to go see if Elias is legit. That's why we're going to go to Elias this week, actually. Cap City's a great team, and Cap City's been kind of on that hinge all year, too. We're going to go see for ourselves. I'm done talking about what Elias is or isn't. We're going to go see for ourselves because, like I said, I'm sure there's more to the story, and Rockbridge is extremely well coached. I have no doubt about that. But if you're a top 10 team, we got to see it, and we're going to go see it Friday.
Number 8, we have to put Marionville. Last week they went and, they just destroyed another team. They went up a class and they destroyed them by 50. That is just always something impressive. It doesn't matter what class you're in, whether it's 1-2 or 3-4 or 5-6. If you go up a class and you beat the team by not alone double digits, but 50, that is just in itself impressive. And I think Cash is doing it right now, the running back. He is just showing everyone what Marion football is all about. And I'm excited to see what they have in store for the rest of the season.
The next team we have, also Class 1, so these two teams are neck and neck, but we have Tipton. And we put Tipton directly over Marionville, which obviously is not consistent with what other people in the media rank. Obviously, everyone has Marionville as number 1 in the class. We're doing power rankings, and we're putting stock into the ranked wins and losses. And Tipton's ranked win over Fairgrove, although at this point in the season, maybe that doesn't look as strong. That's what happened. That's the metric. And honestly, like I said, we can go back to the Lamar game, too. Tipton played a great game. In our perspective, I think Tipton's played a much higher level of competition. And I think if you look at Tipton's loss and Marionville loss, I just put a little bit more stock in losing to Lamar by 7. So really that's it, but I think we're splitting hairs at this point. I think those are the 2 best teams in Class 1. And it's not close, and it's sad that they are on the same side of the bracket because that'd be a great state championship.
100%. Number 6, we have to keep CBC the same. CBC 6, they're doing it like they're supposed to. And at the beginning of the season, we had, DeSmet and Nixa, the 2 state champion contenders last year. So there's a reason why they have something to prove. They lost in the district championship last year, and they have to prove to us against a worthy opponent why they deserve to be ranked above Nixa. They have 1 win against Cardinal Ritter, and Cardinal Ritter hasn't looked too hot this year. Granted, they're also on a national schedule. They're going to other states, and they're playing very good competition. Go and destroy Lafayette in your district. Like, come on, let's do that. And like we say, it's pound for pound at the end of the day.
Yeah.
There's no reason you should be ranked above any other number 1 team in the class, and you are. So to be honest, it should be more or less a thank you for ranking us this high instead of, at 7 or 8, like theoretically you're supposed to be.
Yeah, and we had a 20 comment thread, and we'll reference that in this video too. But listen, no team above CBC has a worse resume, if you will. More ranked wins, more recruited players, better success last season. And those are the 3 things I heard in the comment section. We'll go off of pedigree. Every team ranked above you has gone further in more recent years than you. Every team above you is ranked higher in their class. Every single team above CBC has more ranked wins.
The only thing is Blair Oaks might not have as many kids being recruited because they're class 2, but they have 3 times the amount of ranked wins.
Yeah, Blair Oaks has the most impressive schedule, and they should be getting recruited. I mean, we've seen that in person. So, but like I said, I'm not going to harp on that. But CBC at 6 is more than fair. I mean, that is more than fair. You're the number 2 team in Class 6. Media thinks that. The AP voters think that. I'm 90% sure Max Preps thinks that. But you're the number 2 team in the class. That's okay. No one's trashing that. That's why you're behind all the number 1s. So leave it at that and quit arguing with nothing. Like this other team, number 5, Seneca, best team in Class 3. And I think we're starting to see Live for Life really carve into that lead. That's fair. But for the time being, Seneca has looked unstoppable. I have zero doubts that will continue for the rest of the year, no doubt.
2 ranked wins above a Class 3 and a Class 4 opponent. So
I mean, they're going up and they're dominating too. It's not relatively close.
Number 4 stays Nixa. Nixa had a great game against Lebanon, but Lebanon, they lost in the Neosho pretty bad. So if this was before the Neosho game, I would have said Nixa, heck yeah. Lebanon's not firing on all cylinders. You guys have 3 ranked wins, granted, but all ranked wins are from Class 5. You have 0 Class 6 ranked wins. So I cannot wait to see you guys into the playoffs and just hopefully do the same thing against Class 6 teams. That's what it has to happen. And everyone just talks about their players or whatever, but let's go see a couple big wins on the road Let's see what you boys can do away from Nixa.
And I have no doubt Lebanon will get it figured out and be a
100%.
contender for Class
100%.
5. But at the end of the day, where they are right now is not going to bolster
Yep.
Nix's resume.
Yep.
And number 3, I think, is falling into the exact same situation.
100%.
Platte County is going to move down this week to number 3. Really at no fault of their own. It's just the reason why another team is moving up is really the deciding factor in that. Platte County statistically has been untouched this year. But our issue is the lack of massive ranked wins that the teams in number 1 and number 2 have that you don't. Talent is obviously there. Dominance over class is obviously there. But these 2 other teams are probably dominating their class
100%.
a little bit more than you are. But I don't think this changes anything about the perspective of what Platte's going to do in Class 5 when the district and state tournaments roll around.
Yep, they're getting it done against their class, not classes down. So
Can't knock them for that. It's just we're going to reward our number 2.
the Bulldogs, Kearny, as we've already stated, Kearny went in, and for the first 3 quarters, it was a dismantling. They dismantled the North Kansas City's defense, at least. Kearny's offense was picking them apart. I would say 3 quarters of the pass plays, someone was open. It was scheme.
Just missed
and
on
it
a
was
few.
skill. Yeah, just missed on a couple. Maybe the defensive line, hesitated a little, and the defense line got to you really fast. Kearny's getting it done. Ranked wins, going up 2 classes and playing a top 5 team. Besides our number 1, I don't know how many other teams in the state have done that this year.
I think they might be the only other. I think these 2 are the only 2 that have
The most
done it.
deserving, at least.
And that's why Kearny's number 2. And then to add to the record, Blair Oaks number 1. There was no hesitation about this. Blair Oaks this week, another ranked win over a class above Boonville. And when I say ranked win, ranked blowout.
Yep.
I mean, and Boonville's a good team. Do not.
Boonville will make a run in class.
Yeah, we're super high on Boonville. We want to see some of their games. That's a huge target on our list. But when I tell you that Class 2 has now gone up to Class 4, Class 3, they've got 2 Class 3 wins, ranked wins.
Osage and Boonville.
Osage and Boonville. And Class 4, number 1 at the time, Lutheran North blowout. I mean,
And Lutheran North still,
me-
there's the second best team behind Kearny.
Yeah,
So it's not like the Lutherans falling off this year.
No, Lutheran North is still the second ranked team in Class 4. Find me a better record in the country,
Literally.
with ranked wins. I'm not saying that lightly. Find me a team in a low class in another state anywhere in the United States of America that went up 2 classes and beat the reigning state champion private school that still looks good by 20, and then went up another class and beat 2 top 6 teams in that class. If you find it, I challenge anyone to do that. You find it, we'll bring you on the show and you can explain it to us. How about that?
And you might say Boonville's whatever. They have an offensive lineman that's carrying them. Don't forget, week 2, Boonville went to Illinois and beat the 5th best team in the entire state of Illinois.
And
Boonville.
ended their 17-game win streak. Boonville's rolling too, and that's why they said we're high on Boonville. Don't get that wrong.
And
but
Blair Oaks dismantled.
Blair Oaks just proves our point of why they will continue to be number 1 until someone knocks them off, or I don't know, it's 2 seasons from now.
Tyler graduates.
We'll figure it out. But that's our power rankings this week. Thank you guys for watching this week's episode of the CMG Sports Show. Like I said, as you know, Cap City, Helias, get ready. We got tailgates planned. We're going to be there, make content. It's time for Helias to put their money where their mouth is.
I'm excited. Last year was a very good game. Now Helias is in Class 6. Let's see if they have the Class 6 mentality and maturity they need to blow Cap City out.
Remember, as always, all of our takes and opinions are objectively correct, and you disagree with them, you're probably just wrong. Let us know why you think we're wrong, and we'll tell you why we're right in the comments below. Thank you. We'll see you guys next week.